Good morning. Welcome back to me being cheap. I don't know if you can see this old thermometer on my porch, but it appears to be about 62 degrees. That is very cool compared to what we have been having. We have had triple digits many days in a row and no rain. I don't know if you can see how dried up and brown this yard is. I do not irrigate, but we haven't had any rain either, so we've been in a bit of a drought. I'll just give you a little glance. It is crispy here. Anyhow, thought I would tell you about how our gardens are doing, and it's not good. So when I say I don't irrigate, I'm talking about my yard. I have to irrigate my gardens. They would have died a long time ago. So let's start with these. These are mostly kitchen herbs. We do have some ube or some purple sweet potatoes, or I guess they're more like yams. These are doing pretty good. They're in their own little pots, and they get watered every night. Little fig tree here. But it actually died back during that heat, and it's just now putting leaves back on, so it was severely stressed. We got some ginger over here. Michael started this just with ginger root from the grocery store, so that's pretty cool. So we got a little olive tree over there. That's doing okay. This lemon tree is looking pretty sad. Oh, we had another lemon tree around here. I don't know. Anyway, this is a pawpaw tree. These are from down the south. They are looking pretty sad. Oh no, they got something going on with the leaves. I got two of them. Anyhow, these are mostly doing okay. Well, let's take a look out here. Yeah, this ground is crunchy. Got a few things in the greenhouse. We won't go in there today. Yeah, it's just dry as a bone. Okay, we'll start down here on this end. And this has just been some really weird gardening weather this year. You know, I think it was cool in the spring, and then all of a sudden it got hot and it stayed hot, and now it's like it's gonna turn off cool again. These are cucumbers, and they are sad. And if you remember last year, I had tons of cucumbers, made tons of relish. But this is what we got. This is a China Jade cucumber. Those are pretty good, but I mean, just really misshapen, not very even. You know, we irrigate the same amount of time each day, but this heat is just, it's just awful. And look how little these plants are. Some of them, like, they didn't die, but they're not growing. They're not even tall enough to fit up on the trellis. Yeah, last year we had tons of stuff. I made several batches of relish, and we ate cucumbers, and yeah. Okay, coming over here, we planted a few melons. They're here, but they're not growing. You know, they didn't die. Well, some of them died. We had, you know, a couple rows. But yeah, like this little guy. This is like the 2-leaf that you get when you first start growing seeds. They're not growing. We had squash. We planted squash multiple times. We would start the seeds inside, bring them out here, and they just die. So as far as squash, we're not going to have very much. But look how tiny our little squash plants are. You know, usually by this time we are drowning in zucchini and squash and patty pans and what have you. Got a few pepper plants here. We planted peppers in the back, but these are some leftovers. Look how short these tomatoes are. So I was back on my Facebook feed and my Instagram feed, and you know, you can kind of see what you did like a year ago. Well, at least you can on Facebook. And I was doing the Every Bit Counts challenge. And we were canning up tons of tomato products. I got a squirrel fussing at me. He's up there somewhere. I don't know if you guys can hear him barking. I don't see him. Anyhow, these tomatoes haven't even grown enough to where they need to be tied up. They've got blooms on them. I have no tomatoes at all. And this time last year, tons of tomatoes. Look, I got one little baby one. That's it. That's it. This is crazy. I've got something here eating my tomato plant. Don't know what that is. But yeah, these are on drip irrigation. Beans are looking real sad this year. Beans have not done well past few years. Something has eaten all of these. But yeah, here's this horseradish. It's looking good. We can't get rid of that. We've dug this out several years in a row and have made horseradish. If you ever get this planted in a pot, do not put it in your garden. You will not be able to get rid of it. It's a volunteer tomato. Actually, two. We didn't plant those. But yeah, all these little holes down here are supposed to be bean plants. I think we planted these 2 rows here were contenders, and these are Cherokee wax, or the yellow beans. So these plants are definitely looking a little healthier, and these contenders, nothing much to contend with. These are my field peas, my pink eye purple hole. They're doing all right. I've picked a few off, and it would be enough to maybe have one batch of beans. I mean, that's a lot of work just for, you know, to eat peas one time. I could go buy a can of peas at this point. Okay, this is where I dug up the potatoes, and Michael had actually ordered high quality seed potatoes online, and the plants did wonderful. And we dug them up, and we got a bowl full, like a big stainless steel bowl. So we had some sweet potatoes that had sprouted. So we just threw them in here just as an experiment. I don't know if they're going to do anything or not, but some of the sweet potatoes had purple vines, and then like some of them have green vines. So it's just an experiment to see what they'll do. These are some vehicles we're getting rid of. Haha. It's in another video to come. So walking over here, oh, and guess what? We are trying to trap some bees. So we might be bringing bees to our little yard. Okay, walking over here to this garden. These beans usually don't put on until much later, so I'm not too worried about this. But these are the Christmas peas, speckled butter beans. They're the real big white and red beans. These are, what are these? Oh, I planted them last year. They have a really pretty purple bean to them. Really long pod. Scarlet runners. They make red flowers. They haven't even flowered yet. So this is a volunteer cucumber plant. So we had cucumbers over here. That one's volunteer. There's no cucumbers on it though. And this one is a volunteer. And let me step back. It's all the way up here. And we didn't think it had any cucumbers, but Michael found one on here. There's one. I don't know if you could see that or not. Put my hand behind it. Little baby one. We might get something. I have no idea. But yeah, it's just looking sad. These are the peppers. They're doing all right. They haven't grown much. These varieties we planted last year, and they're usually a lot taller by now. First few rows are California Wonder and Big Bertha bell peppers. We tried to plant twice as many because we used them all up. This one has got peppers on it. a whole bunch of them. Actually, these two. They're itty bitty. They're supposed to be really big because both of those varieties have big peppers. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Like this one has already turned red. So it's definitely an interesting year. This one's got some little peppers on it too. So I don't know. We might just be eating bell peppers this year. It's just not doing much. I'll take you over here. We're not really doing rabbits anymore, but we got Thumper over here. We got to sending our rabbits to freezer camp, but these little guys, they were our breeding males, and this little guy had gotten really friendly. We call him Fat Boy. I'll probably get me demonetized for saying the F word. I know that happens on some other channels. But he comes running every time we're out here because he thinks we have food. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? So anyway, I guess I have 2 pet rabbits now. If we didn't send them to freezer camp. They're too friendly. See, here's Thumper. Hey boy. Hey boy. Got all my little girls over here. Don't worry, that's not their water dish that's turned upside down. Hey girls.